Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm at Ashburnham Golf Club in South Wales ahead of the Clutch Pro Tour event here this week that I'm playing in. And today we've got a practice round and I'm going to take you through a little bit of what that looks like and how I'm preparing for this tournament this week. So it's a links course. Haven't played links golf for a while, but super excited to play some links golf. I love links golf, and yeah, the weather's going to play a part as well with managing the wind and things like that. So yeah, here's a little bit of an insight into my practice round, and I will see you on the golf course. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so the first hole at Ashburnham is a par 3, and to be honest, don't usually start with par 3, so this was quite a nice switch up, if you like. This was playing 190 back into the breeze a little bit, went with a little 6-iron here, and really you can't miss this green. Either side is not great, and this one was pulled left. This was a really tricky little chip that I was trying to run up the bank and get this kind of chasing up to the hole, because you couldn't land it on the green and stop it. So yeah, this one was just kind of firing through and left myself around 25 feet across the slope for a par there. You'll see throughout the round the little spots and tees that we are putting to. These are the hole locations for round 1. So I like to hit a bunch of putts from different spots, and mainly where I anticipate to hit my tee shot to. So just to kind of get a feel for the line and what the putt is doing to these hole locations.
Yeah, there are a couple that are sort of firmer than others. Really?
Second hole, 440 yard par 4 with out of bounds all the way down the right side. So you've got a bit of space down the left, but there is some pretty thick rough and some mounding. So ideally you need to really hit a good tee shot here. This was a decent one for me, just down the left side. Tee shot found a pretty thick lie from 135 out the rough, and again, this is a skill you have to really kind of adapt to for links golf, how far it's travelling out the rough. And this was a gap wedge that to the firm green was perfect. Trying to land this kind of on the front and chase it up. This left me around 5 feet for the birdie, and even though I'm not scoring, I'm still trying to hold out putts and really kind of go through my process as if I was playing in the tournament. But these greens are quite quick, and on short putts you really have to be quite precise. This pin location was middle right, and I'm just practicing just off the green here with a putter because it's pretty firm and dry, and I think this will be a typical shot to be used on this course if you're just missing the greens, just kind of putting it through the fringe and trying to get the speed on these kind of putts. Jump into the 5th hole now, and the first par 5 from 495. Pretty simple tee shot here. This is just kind of down the left side a little bit, and yeah, really commit to the target line.
There's no way you were getting that.
This left me 209, and I was just trying to hit a sort of hold up 5-iron with the breeze a little bit against off the right, and with it being firm I knew I needed to pitch this around 10-15 yards short and let this kind of run up the green. This ended up pretty perfect, and a really good look at eagle here. One thing to note here is some of the bunkering, and I'm throwing the ball in here just to kind of really get a sense of how it's going to react if I was coming into this with a full shot. And ideally you want to be on the fat side of the greens here, and what I mean by that is you leave yourself with as much green as possible, and there's a ball there where those guys are standing, which is where the pin location is spotted to be. So just trying to hit some shots at this bunker, because I'm likely going to favour the left side going into this green, because missing it right to that pin will leave absolutely zero shot and probably no chance at making birdie. Hole 6 and the first par 3 on the course, and oh my god, what a great looking hole this is. This was playing 190, and again with a little breeze into off the right, just trying to hit a hold up 6-iron here. You cannot really miss this green to the right. There's a massive fall off area which I'll show you shortly as we're walking up to the green, but this was a pretty good shot. Go around 30 feet for the birdie, and really just trying to get the speed here. Always trying to get the speed of the greens on these practice rounds is absolutely one of the most important factors.
Keep the camera rolling.
This is where I'm just testing a little kind of back shelf to where the pin location is going to be. So yeah, just kind of seeing how this ball's going to react and come off that bank if I was to kind of hit a shot into it. On to the 9th hole now, and a really good par 4 here. Bunkers all the way down the left, and it's a dogleg left, which you kind of have to take on the bunkers. You do not want to go in them because they are little pot bunkers, but this was a really good drive here, just kind of aiming at the middle telephone pole in the distance. This left me 114 to the pin, wind off the left, and you could not miss this pin left to a massive kind of pot bunker, which looked like absolutely no-go. So just trying to aim a little bit right and hit a holding up gap wedge here, which was a really nice shot. This is that pot bunker that I was talking about, and I just wanted to go in here just to kind of see what I would be faced with if I did hit it in this bunker. And yeah, it's really not great. You can see from these shots here, splashing them out, especially downwind, you've got no chance of stopping it to that pin location. And yeah, so this is definitely a spot that I will be trying to avoid at all costs. My actual second shot finished in a really good spot here, and a decent look for birdie from around 15 feet. I'm also making notes of my distance control and how far my ball actually goes relative to what distance I had. So that's another really good note there for me. On to the 10th now, and another par 5 from 510 on this tee that was slightly forward. Wind was really starting to pick up here, and this was kind of off the left, maybe a touch helping. Again, just trying to commit to down the left side, and a really good drive here. This fairway was surprisingly soft, and only left myself 248 into this pin, just trying to hit a kind of 3-iron and chasing it up the green, and this one just got on the wind a little bit. As you saw there, this is a pretty thick lie, and just missing the kind of semi-cut rough, this was really not ideal. So that's definitely something to be aware of, especially going into this hole. Just trying to hit a couple of lower running chips here from the front of this green where I'm likely to hit it to. And to that pin location that is set for round 1, this was a little gap wedge where I'm just kind of hitting that little kind of chip and run shot up the green. Just getting a feel for where it's landing and how much it's releasing. This was a little shot just on the back of the 11th where I was coming out the rough and it just ran through. And I was playing this with an 8-iron chip and run, which I don't usually do, but this was a really good little shot to practice because you couldn't necessarily fly this all the way and spin it. To the 13th now, and the wind was really starting to pick up on this par 3 from 145 yards. Just trying to hit a little knockdown 8-iron that was against off the right here. The wind really took this, to be fair. Just missed the green on the left, so this was another good opportunity to practice one of those putts through the fringe and really start to gauge the speed control here, which was really good. 14th hole, and this was playing downwind off the left from 560 par 5. Couldn't really hit driver here because you ran out into the thick dunes, so this was just a 3-iron. This fairway was pretty firm, so this was running quite a lot. This left me 2, 3, 4, and I think in the tournament this wind is going to be playing against on this hole. So I wanted to play the layup here and not go for it, because if I'm going to hit a wood into this green, it's pretty narrow, as you can see here. So those dunes are really thick rough. If you hit it in them, it's no good. So this left me a 70-yard pitch that I just practiced here, but this wasn't actually my second shot. This was a ball that I just dropped. Here we have my actual second shot where it finished with the 8-iron. This went pretty far and a lot further than I wanted to. Just playing this with a little 60 degree, just trying to run it up the green there. This was a pretty good shot.
The 8-iron layup was always the play.
15th hole and a pretty strong par 4 here from 470. Wind was across off the left. You really just had to keep this down the left side, because down the right was thick rough and really no good. This was a really good tee shot here. This left me 170 to a back pin, and I misjudged the wind slightly, thinking it was more helping, and went with the 8-iron here, just trying to float it in on the wind, but this came up a little bit short as it played a little bit more into than I was thinking. But another good opportunity to practice the speed control with this putt off the green. So yeah, this was playing pretty slow up the gradual slope here to this pin. So this was another good putt to really get a true sense of what the speed control was feeling like. Again, just going through my process here, treating it as if I was playing in the tournament, trying to hole out and really get those reps in and ensure the process is good.
How far did you have it?
170. Some pretty awesome views around this course. '17th hole, and the wind was proper up now, and this was blowing straight into 430 par 4. Hazard all the way down the right side, so again you just have to kind of keep it down the left. This was a really good drive here. My ball actually landed on the path, which gave it a little bit of extra distance, and this left me 177 straight into the wind, going with a 5-iron here, and yeah, just trying to hit this middle of the green basically. It was on a great line but didn't quite catch it, so it just stalled up in the wind a little bit short. This was playing a pretty good little chip here with my sand wedge, just trying to land it on the front and release it up to the pin. This was a nice one to get a feel of. This pin spot was tucked on the right, and again you cannot afford to miss this on the right side. You would be pretty screwed to that pin if you hit it there. 18th hole, 370 par 4, downwind here, so just hitting a 4-iron down there. And this is actually quite a tough tee shot. There's not really a lot to aim at, so just trying to commit to a spot and put a good swing on it. The 4-iron ran through the fairway and into the rough here, and I had 124 to a back pin, just trying to hit the gap wedge out the rough and use the wind that was helping off the left. Hit a pretty good shot in here, but it just released to the back edge, so again just trying to finish with a really good speed putt down the hill but into the wind. This was a really good little combination to practice to finish.
Get there, pictures of Max recording with the uphill. How many ups did you play it? 8. That's what your gun said? That's what the book said.
Well, that's the practice round done, and yeah, I must say I really enjoyed that golf course, Ashburnham. First time here, And yeah, it's just a true proper links course. And as you saw out there today, the wind picking up towards the end of the round really kind of showed its teeth on that golf course. So that's going to be the biggest factor, obviously, going into this week. And today, the wind direction isn't blowing from the forecast that it's supposed to blow tomorrow and the next few days. So that's going to make a few holes play very differently. And yeah, something that's going to be really kind of something to be aware of going into the tournament. But really happy with the game. Really pleasing to see the control of ball flights and yeah, holding some putts on the greens as well, which is really key. So yeah, links golf I love. It's kind of the purest style of golf, which yeah, almost kind of brings out that sort of, I guess, like younger self, if you like, that kind of playful and that creative side of golf a little bit more. So yeah, really excited for this week. I think key things to kind of be aware of, obviously, you know, making sure that your distance control is really good. I've talked about it, you know, making sure that you're leaving myself kind of the correct side of the pins, not short siding myself and getting out of position in that way, because I think if you do that, you're going to really struggle to save par. So yeah, it's a proper test of really all areas of your game, I would say, because you have to be in position off the tee to then have that control into the greens with them being firm, and especially if it's downwind, for example, you're going to need that spin to kind of control into the greens there. So super excited for this week. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm going to be doing a lot more of this stuff going into the bulk of the season. So let me know in the comments below if there's anything more specific that you want me to dive into. But yeah, that's a little bit of an insight into what a practice day looks like preparing for a pro tournament. And yeah, I look forward to sharing with you how it goes and yeah, how we kind of move going forward. So appreciate everyone supporting and see you all in the next one.